Prudential has been putting this African American financial experience study out for many years, and what it tries to do is shine a light on not only what we're doing well, but also some of the challenges that we face. And for African American, this wealth gap continues to widen. So we've made some great strides in terms of income, but what I hope to talk about tonight is what I call the new financial normal. And the new financial normal really requires each individual to take ownership of their financial success. And what it requires is shifting from what I call this income mindset, meaning we know how to earn money, but we don't know how to turn that income into wealth. And so on this panel, what I hope to share is some real practical things that African Americans can do to begin to build wealth, right? And take ownership of their financial success and not be fearful is what these uncertain times that we're all in, know how to leverage uncertainty to their advantage.
A poor African American or a rich African American, the disparity between you and a white person is huge. How do we go about changing that gulf? I mean, if you think about this, and I didn't believe it when I first heard it, and I talked to Julianne Malveaux, and I called a couple of other folks who are far better in the know than and they said, yeah, that's about right. And they said, if you took the entire wealth of every African American in this country and the top 1% of whites in this country, they would still far exceed the wealth of the entire African American community. So when you talk about that kind of gap, and I throw this out to all of you, how can we begin to chip away at that? Because that's not the kind of money people want to share.
The real issue for African Americans is we have no intergenerational wealth, right? So we're what I call scratch babies. Most of us started from scratch. Many of us are generation one. The first in families to get an undergraduate degree or a graduate degree, have a professional career. So in fact, the discretionary income, right, to be able to invest and then have assets once you pass on, basically the rest of the majority has a 400-year jump on us. That's number one, okay? So we know what the problem is, but I think that sitting on this panel, what we need to bring our solutions. And I think it goes right back to the whole comments that everyone on this panel has made. And what it means is leveraging our resources together. You know, the African proverb, you know, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's what we have to begin to do to marshal our assets as family. As families, I really want to talk just a little bit about what Dr. Wilson said about this education gap almost becoming out of reach for many in our community. Because if you think about it, 30 years ago, I can remember attending Oakland University and paying $500 a semester, right? We just sent, I'm not going to say myself, my husband and I just sent 2 children through University of Maryland. And what I will say was that was a significant investment, right? Upwards of $40,000. But the thing that worked in our favor was Michigan had one of the first educational trusts, and believe it or not, the year in 1987, when that fund came out, our son was 2 years old. We bought a prepaid tuition program, and his tuition was paid once he went to college, right? So what that is going to require for all of us as people of color is putting our funds together early, number one, and making sure that our children have assets available for college. But secondly, the other thing that African Americans don't do is we don't buy life insurance, okay? Now, life insurance, hear me out, is one of the ways that most families build wealth because it's one of the few investments that passes to the beneficiary tax-free. And I can't tell you, I was an advisor for many, many years, and I can't tell you the amount of people that would say things to me like, oh, well, I don't have to worry about them once I'm gone. We have to become more knowledgeable, not only about investments, but tax strategies, tax advantage strategies, so that we can begin to think about the long-term implications of the decisions that we're making with our income today.